So about 4,000 bills were proposed leading up to this year's legislative session. Now, they've been whittled down to roughly 1,700 as an important deadline came and went this week. ONR's Jason Doyle reports on legislation that will live to see another day. When cloister bells are heard in the halls of the Oklahoma Capitol, it means lawmakers have a vote on the House or Senate floor.
Chair sees a quorum. The Senate will come to order.
And while that gets a lot of attention, most of the work this week takes place in committee rooms like this.
Chair sees a quorum. Committee will come to order.
Over this deadline week, more than 30 committee hearings heard more than 560 bills. In the Senate Health and Human Services Committee, Representative Casey Murdoch was tasked with presenting legislation backed by the governor that would lower the qualifications for both the Health Commissioner and the Commissioner of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Last year gave the governor a lot of power to hire and fire agency heads, and I put a lot of trust in him. This is his request bill. This is a governor's request bill, and we are just giving him some leeway.
Murdoch was peppered with questions about why the qualifications needed to be lowered.
What we're doing is broadening the field of who we can look for to fill the position.
Even with some lawmakers raising issues about the measures, Senate Bill 1863, which changes the qualifications for the state health commissioner, passed by an 8-4 vote. Senate Bill 1870, which does the same for the mental health commissioner position, passed 7-5. Another issue considered by the Senate committee, protecting loved ones from abuse and neglect.
Member, Senate Bill 1739 is a bill that updates current law to assure that residents in assisted living facilities and continuing care facilities have the same rights as nursing home residents, especially the right to place video monitoring equipment in their rooms.
It won approval 12-0 and moves on to the Senate floor. Over in the House, a popular bill to reform the rules for virtual charter schools was addressed in the House Common Education Committee.
Members, House Bill 2905 is the Virtual Charter School Transparency and Reform Act. It is supported by the Virtual Charter School Board, the OSDE, OSSBA, COSA, and two of our largest virtual charter schools who also had input on the bill.
The bill would change the way students can transfer into a virtual charter school from a traditional public school. The reform measure won unanimous approval, but not all bills move on.
Representative Dunnington, with 6 ayes and 10 nays, I declare your bill to have failed.
House Bill 3871 dealt with remedial courses in college. It didn't pass out of committee, but could be revived in the future.
We had a bill by Representative Dunnington that really generated a lot of great discussion, opened up some minds on his viewpoint. Even though that bill did not pass, I think that is something he will continue to work on and improve upon based upon the questions that were generated in committee.
A common sight during deadline weeks like this, lobbyists and activists locked in conversation with lawmakers, both inside and outside the Capitol.
Give it up for Jack Haywood, everybody.
Just like everybody else, I thought before coming up here, the Capitol is run by corruption and money, and that's what gets everything done. I've been here now for 3 years, and I've got to admit that's not true. This relationship, or this Capitol is run by relationships.
Back inside, another committee with a big workload of bills, the House Judiciary Committee.
All right, so we're going to get started. Then my bills.
One bill given serious consideration addressed the issue of missing and murdered Indigenous people.
House Bill 3345, known as Ida's Law, directs the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation to work in conjunction with tribal entities in the U.S. Attorney General's office, as well as the Department of Justice, to seek all federal funding available to address the issue of missing and murdered Indigenous people.
With no dissent, the committee unanimously passed the legislation onto the House floor. A more contentious issue before the Judiciary Committee, smoking in public places.
We're 48th in the country in terms of health outcomes, and in an interim study I did this year, we found that secondhand smoke's a big cause of that problem.
House Bill 3384 would create the Oklahoma Workplace Clean Air Act. It would effectively ban public smoking in Oklahoma, including in bars and restaurants. However, concerns were raised about businesses like cigar bars, where smoking is expected.
There are not too many bills up here, folks, that you get to work on that you actually can save some lives, and this bill will do that. I'm convinced of that. I'm not after the cigar bars and cigar stores and that type of thing. I'm not out trying to put people out of business.
Despite some pushback by committee members, Wright's bill moved forward by a vote of 12-3.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Members, thank you very much. Appreciate your patience.
One more step on a long legislative road to becoming Oklahoma law. Jason Doyle, the Oklahoma News Report.
Lawmakers will have 2 weeks now to consider the bills which made it out of committee before the next legislative deadline.